Hey everybody, let me get my tripod working here. Okay, got it. Here we go. Is anybody in the house? Hey. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Let's check you all out here. What's going on? Why can't I see my chats? Where are you? Hi, Jason. Okay, now I see you. What's up, fellas? I hope I'm going to have enough fellas to have a discussion here. Let me just open the light. My live keeps disappearing. Hey, y'all, what's up? Tell me something. What is going on with y'all today? As I put all my crystals to the side. I have so many things. Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm going to let the room fill up a little bit, but you guys can't. Good morning. Where are you at, Philip and Linda? Where are you guys at? Hi, Orlando. What's up? Thank you guys for joining us. Melbourne, Australia. Oh, wow, beautiful. I hear it's winter down there. Atlanta, Worcester, is that how you pronounce it? Worcester or Worcester? Freezing cold, eh? Yeah. Is it snowing? It just disappeared. It keeps disappearing. Retrograde got my car acting up. Yeah, well, oof. Yeah, that can happen. That can happen, Jason. Poor you. I hope all is well. Did you go to the mechanic? Arizona. Oh, yes. Must be very hot. Here in Montreal, Canada, it's about 30 degrees with humidity. It's not that hot compared to other places in the world. But people still complain. And you guys disappeared again. Waiting until Monday to take it on, not stressing. There you go. We gotta leave it to the universe. At this point, things are realigning, shifting, letting us slow down a little bit, eh? We need to slow down. Men and women, all of us. So tell me, y'all, are you currently single, in a relationship? What's going on in your love life? Girls, I want to hear from you too. We have a lot of men. I'm happy. Awesome. Now, if only I can. Can you guys hear me properly? Because the volume here is... Okay, we good. Single like a Pringle. I like that, James. I like that. I'm going to use that. Single like a Pringle. I love Montreal. I'm from Ontario. Yes, 30 degrees, just rained. Cool. Hi, Jody. Welcome. Ida. Hi, Ida. Single, I'm in love with my ex still. Oh, no, honey. That's the retrograde. That's the Mercury retrograde wanting to make us revisit the past, unfortunately. That could be mentally. That could be telepathically. You might be connecting with your ex telepathically. I know, I think my ex is connecting with me telepathically, but We can shut that down, you know that, right? And you guys disappeared again. Split from a water sign, 7 years together, last 3 years on and off, single since June. Wow, yeah, I've been with someone for 5 years. We split, and then I started up with someone else last year. So I think the energies right now, guys, if you've been through long-term relationships for that long, the energies right now are asking us to revisit those experiences to figure out what no longer serves you in the next relationship that you're about to embark in. So it's important to pay attention to the messages that you receive, whether that's in your dreams, whether that's, you know, you're watching something on Netflix or you're watching something on YouTube and it resonates and it's like, okay, I get it. You get these sudden realizations, which can be like the tower moment in the tarot. So pay attention, guys, women and men. We got to pay attention to what we need to learn. Because if we block that out, then we're going to continue self-sabotaging and using the same coping mechanisms when the new person comes in. So people contact me from the past, not happy about that. Jody, tell me a little bit more about that. Who exactly is contacting you, like exes? And where are you from, Jody? Betrayed by my wife, going for divorce, third party involvement. Holy shit, rising sun, damn. And was this your first marriage? Rising sun, this was your first marriage? You know, there's a lot of, it's crazy. Third party and fourth party. Like, there's a lot of situations out there that are happening. And I think it's time to close those chapters, people. So if you're going through a shitstorm like that, it means that you are not with the right person. Single did me wrong. She ended realizing her mistakes and changed as a whole person. By the time she changed, she fell out of love with me and asked her to take me back, but she kind of friend zoned me. Oh boy. She ended realizing her mistakes and changed. Orlando, okay. And how long were you with that girl, Orlando? How long did it take for you to realize, like you're talking about your intuition here, how long did it take for you to realize that this person was not going to change? 10 years married, ended in minutes. Yeah. Tower moments, man. They end suddenly. They come out of left field. Yeah. Oh, I hear you. Guys, wow. So you know what? You guys continue chatting, okay? I'm going to read your comments as I go along. I'm going to try to multitask here. I'm hoping that some of my moderators can come through for me so they can help me out here. 2 years took me a long time. Yeah. Well, listen, you know, it takes the time it takes to figure out where we need to go, guys. So I think that's one thing we have to stop being so hard on ourselves as men and women. You know, we look back and we're like, oh, I wasted so much time with that person, but you needed that time. Your soul could not accelerate to the next level without having gone through all that bullshit, unfortunately. You see, right now I'm looking at things from a very different perspective. Gone through also a, you know, two major breakups in the last 2 years. Like it's just been crazy. But I feel like now, taking a look at it from a different perspective, we can see what our role was in that, and that we, in a way, were allowing those things to happen, you know. And at one point, we walked away because we spoke our truth. So right now, the energies are telling us we need to speak our truth, you know, whether we're male or female. These are the energies, guys. So I can see that you guys are going through the same thing. You see, men have the same problems, women. An ex that is married. Geez, Toronto, an ex that is married. Okay, so Jody, you were with someone. Oh, okay. Your past exes are coming back to talk to you, right? That's what you were talking about. And married. Wonderful. You see, people that are married, they put up this image and I don't know, this is what I've been seeing in my experience, within family, friends, whatever, people on Instagram and Facebook. People like they want to make you believe with their appearance and their pictures that all is well, and their marriage is fucking perfect, and there are no, there's nothing bad that's going on with them, which is, and look what they're doing behind their partner's back. They're texting and communicating with an ex. Shady as fuck. So we need to be prepared for this type of behavior, people. People are confused. If that person, Jody, is contacting you and they're married, that means they're not happy at all. All she wants is my property and money. Rising sign down. Third party is her so-called best friend's husband. He has 2 kids. Yeah, and then there's kids involved. I know, I've been hearing it. It's really sad. And rising sun, do you have any children? She's a Scorpio. Oh boy, Scorpios have been going through it as well, because Pluto rules Scorpio, and it's currently in retrograde, and it's next to Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of structure and of tradition and of hard work and where we're supposed to go in life. So it's like this push and pull where we're trying to find a way to transform within the structure that we built, but the structure that was built was shaky to begin with, and this is why we're doing shady things. You see? Yeah, that's right. Patricia, married 17 years before divorce, but I was always talking to him. I think I'm finally rid of him. Okay, great. Yeah, Patricia, you've been interacting with me. Hey, Asha. Asha, I should have put you as moderator because I haven't seen any of my moderators walk in just yet, but I'm going to have to go do that on my laptop. Asha, yeah, I'm going to put you as a moderator for next time. I just have to remind myself. Agree. Don't let me see my son. He's 8. Oh, okay. Not letting you see your son, and he's 8 years old. I'm so sorry, rising sun. I'm an Aries. She's a Scorpio. No children. Good morning. Hi, Amar. Good morning. New Zealand. Welcome. I just ended things with a Sag. Hi, Cece. Yay, a moderator's in the house. Hey, Cece, girl, how you doing? Must be late where you're at. Nor see him for a year. So how many men are in the house here? We got 21 people. Yes, please thumbs up, guys, while you're watching. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. So when I was meditating, okay, so it's 10:30. It's not bad. Thanks, Cece, for joining us as my moderator. So just before I came in live, I was meditating on the divine masculine, so the masculine energies. And a lot of the masculines are feeling kind of regretful because they channeled a song to me. And, oh, hi, Linda. And the song was from Cher, If I Can Turn Back Time. And they were singing it to me. So, for you all that don't know it, Google it, YouTube it. It says in the song, if I can turn back time, wish I can find a way to take back all those words that I've hurt you and you'd stay. So there's a lot of regret with the masculines, I feel like. A lot of you are maybe, very reminiscent of your past, because that song is basically feeling very remorseful and regretful about shit that happened in the past. And a lot of you maybe said things that were not supposed to be said in the moment, but it came out, or vice versa, So there's a lot of regret in the air, I feel like, if they channeled that song to me. And I love that song because it really takes me back. But unfortunately, we are being challenged in that way, where we need to revisit the past. We need to reminisce, and we need to look back and think, what could I have done differently? What could I have said differently? And so that's what the theme is, guys, here. So I don't know if y'all can, some of the men can let us know if that resonated. So the remorse, the regret, the lost time. I know a lot, I think someone was telling us about that. But there's a lot of remorse in there. Patsy. Hi, Patsy. How you doing? So, yeah, Orlando, you resonate. That came through strong. I'm telling you, I was like, woo, okay, I'll share that, no problem. So, men, before I ask you some questions, I pulled out some cards, some spirit animal cards from my new deck here, the animal totem cards. Oh, this is wonderful. I just read it and I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you. This is your spirit animal right now. It's the sea turtle. And then that keyword protection was channeled to me. So I'm going to read it to you. You're a master of, I'm sorry, I'm full of goosebumps. You're a master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. Persevere and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. And I feel like, okay, so there's two things that are channeled to me. And even before, the word protection. So you're gonna tell me if I'm on the right track here, men, because this is what's going on. Males, okay? So men essentially are our providers, our protectors. You know, back in the day, they were the ones who went, you know, hunting and brought back the food. They're the ones who come home and protect their family and make sure all their needs are met, right? But now, what's causing this challenge is that the women are tapping so much into their masculine, their divine masculine, that they are not allowing the man to do this for them in a way. Okay, and I completely resonate with this. So the males are kind of confused on what their role is at this point. Okay, so the roles are a little bit, your identity is a little bit confusing right now. And I can understand that because we come in, you know, making you think that we're independent, right? Us women, a lot of us are independent. We can provide for our own. I don't need a man to survive, technically, you know. I'm educated. I have, you know, I have job opportunities. I can, you know, I have a car that's in my name. Like, I can pay my own rent. So this is the problem, I guess, is that the way society is built right now is that we're so individualist right now. Like, we're all individually trying to get our life on the right path. But then at the same time, history and family and our roots and our traditions are kind of forcing us and confusing us with this notion that we absolutely need to be married. We absolutely need to be in union. We absolutely need to be in a partnership in order to survive. So it's very confusing. And this is what they've been channeling to me, is that a lot of women are not allowing the males to step up and be the protector and be the provider. So you males at this point, you're like the sea turtle. You are trying to go with the flow because you are like confused of the messages that us women are giving to you at this point in time. And for sure, perseverance is a part of who you are as males. You know, you're part of that. You know, you have that drive within you, but so do we. So in what circumstances, in what situations, so we have to start thinking about this as women. In what circumstances do we have to allow the man to step up and be our protector, be our provider? So, can you tell us, males, because I am very interested in how you guys think. In what circumstances or situations, based on your experiences that you've had with, your female counterpart, in what situations did you want her to, like, just take a step back, cool down, and let her know that you got this? But she didn't allow you really to do that. And it kind of threatened your sense of who you are as a man, right? Your manhood. Because I feel like a lot of you are being threatened in this way, and this is why a lot of women are trying to find a good man, but the good men are kind of like hiding, right? They're hiding and they're scared, and they're like, okay, well, if I'm too much of this or if I'm too much of that. So you're constantly debating on which energy to fall into, because we all have that masculine and that divine and that feminine energy, but how to find a balance between the two is become a very big issue for a lot of us. So how was it in your past relationships or current relationships, whatever the case may be for you males? Give us an example of how you felt threatened in that sense of the word, where your masculine energy was not, you were not able to tap into it because she was not allowing you, maybe unconsciously. I want to hear from my males. Yep, I'm gonna read. Or women, I want to know too. I mean, was there a situation where you didn't allow your man to, like, just do what he needed to do? And that created maybe a lot of conflict? Yeah. Are you an Aries, Patricia? I think you are. Yeah. I could definitely resonate with what you just said, Patricia. But I want to know what the males think. Like, how do you guys go about these interactions where, I'll give you an example. Okay, I'll give you an example of my past relationship. If my Libra ex is watching, I'm sorry. I need to use this as a teaching experience. And thinking about this example, I did think about it recently, and I do regret it. It's funny because that song relates to us women too. Um, I guess as an Aries, yes, like you, Patricia, I don't know how to let someone help me. But I'm like that with everybody, really. I'm like that with my, family, and I just take on things naturally by myself, just because I feel like it's the best way, and it's a way, I guess, of protecting myself and making sure that if things don't work out, if the person doesn't do it my way, or let's say we were to break up, then I don't want to put myself in a situation where I guess I lose, right? So I'll let the men reflect on that question, but I'll give you my example. So when I was with my last Libra ex, he had asked me where I stored my tires, my winter tires, because here we have 4 seasons, and it sucks. Every winter we need to change our tires. We need to install winter tires. And he had asked me, where do you leave them? And at that point, I'm like, well, I just, I let the garage, like, I allow my garage just to store them for me. And obviously, I pay a fee for that. But for me, that allows me to have peace of mind, because I don't really feel like, picking them up somewhere. And like, I wasn't living in a place where I could store them. And even if I had a place to store them, I don't feel like, tires are really heavy, and I don't feel like going through all of that situation just to, every winter I'd have to, like, go and get them. And anyway, I am very simple and practical, so I'm like, I just store them basically. And so he was like, well, I can store them at my mom's place, no problem. Like, I'll bring them for you. And I'm like, in that moment, so this is like a year and a half ago. Yeah, about a year and a half ago. I got really like defensive, because he didn't understand that I was trying to protect myself at that moment. And it was so hard to express what I felt deep inside. Because if, let's say, we were to break up, and that's what was going through my mind, well, no, I can't store them at your mom's place. If we were to break up, then I'd have to go through that extra step to go pick them up. And, you know, I always think about the worst case scenario, right? Well, at that point I was. And he got really, really upset. Really upset. And he was, you know, purely in his divine masculine. I mean, he lives in the divine masculine. So it created like a fight, you know, it got us fighting. And then at the end of the day, I just said, fine, you know, I'll store them at your mom's place. But it really made me feel like, okay, I need to allow, you know, my man to do what they are meant to do. And if that's what he wants to do, and he wants to step up and he wants to help me, he wants to protect me in that way, because that's their way of showing that they care and that they love you, then so be it. So I think, so looking back on that, I realized recently, as I was thinking about this example, that I think the next time around, I'm gonna let, when it comes to simple things like that, I'm gonna allow my man to just do what he needs to do to help me out. Because I need, in a way, in a sense, we all need a man to help us in a certain way. We can survive without them. But certain things like that, like fixing a car, washing a car, you know, putting things up in the house, renovating, you know, fixing things around the house, no, I am not good at that. And I'm open to saying that I would need help for that. So I think in certain areas we need to allow the man to just be who they want to be for us, because essentially that's how they are born. They were born with this nature of providing and of protecting. So I don't know what you guys are saying here. You never had a chance to show her. That's sad. I'm sorry. And how come you never had a chance to show her? She never allowed you, or you didn't have enough time with her? He was talking too long to recognize our connection, so I bounced. Yeah, Asha, are you in Aries? I'm in the same vibe, basically. We don't want to wait for anybody at this point. My problem was opening up about anything. I don't allow him in. Yeah, I hear you, Xiomara. Like, if I was feeling down, I automatically shut him down, dealt with these issues on my own. He's a Pisces. And what are you, Xiomara? All he wanted to do was help me out, but I don't know why. I just don't know how to. Yeah, I can definitely relate to what you're saying. For some reason, in that moment, I felt very threatened. I felt like, okay, it means you're going to do everything for me, and then I'm not going to be able to make any other decision. Like, I felt like I was losing control, I think. And it's all about control here. It's this power struggle of who has more control over the other. But in a sense, now that I look back at it, I tell myself, no, it's not about control necessarily in that example, but he did prove me that he was a little bit controlling towards the end, or else I wouldn't have left him. But I think deep down, some men need to. They need to show that they're willing to protect you in a way, and they're willing to do things for you so that it helps you. It lightens your load. Aries, okay. That's why I totally resonate with you, Xiomara. Where are you from? Men in the house, I don't hear from you. We got 18 people in the house here. Oh, hi, Mermaid Tarot. We're going to be feeling Chiron has. Yes, totally. Are you an Aries as well, Mermaid Tarot? Yeah, so if you're Aries, or if you have Aries in your chart, male or female, even the collective as a whole, man, like Chiron, I can't remember where it's at this point, but in terms of the other placements of the planets, but it's in Aries and it's in retrograde. So whatever it's touching in the sky, it's going to bring back old wounds. Chiron is all about our traumas, things that hurt us. All the situations where we felt oppressed and abused will come back. Hey, Witch Doctor, how are you? Are you in Aries as well? I might have lost a few people here. So the ones who are here, thank you so much for staying. Mercury's in retrograde, guys. I don't know. Technology is the first time that happens. My other lives went super smoothly, and today it's just crap. And I have full bars here. No, my internet is perfect. Definitely Mercury retrograde. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was frozen. I know on my end, it just kept on loading and loading and loading. So I was reading y'all's comments. Sorry about that. Mercury retrograde, people. I can't control it. Thanks for tuning in and for giving us a chance to reconnect here. So, Witch Doctor, you're Aries male. Welcome. Tell us about your experience. So, what did I ask the males? I asked them a question about in their previous experiences, how they were not able to be there for their counterpart, like the way the sea turtle says here, in the sense that you were not able to provide the protection, that you are essentially meant to do in a relationship. So I want to know, what were the challenges behind that in your relationship, so that we can uncover together, like, what is it that's stopping us from allowing you males to be the protector, from helping us get to where we need to go. Because like I said before, a lot of us females are carrying this heavy divine masculine, especially the Aries females, or if you have a lot of fire in your chart. It doesn't have to be Aries specifically, but I feel like a lot of females are just taking control over everything, because that's how they were taught. Okay, the problem is our society too. It's built in a way where they're asking us to be go-getters, right? They're not asking us to sit at home and just cook and clean like the way maybe our grandparents did or our great-grandparents did. So it's not allowing us to tap into at all to that divine feminine, which is on our left side. So as a child, you grow up and you're pushed, you're forced to, okay, you got to get good grades, you got to achieve, you got to make this amount of money, you got to meet someone who's just as successful as you are. So that's masculine energy, people. Like, so it's hard as a woman to understand that when you're going through it and you don't know why you're going through it. But now, having gone through all those shit storms, now you understand that maybe you see the role you played was also was a big factor in how things didn't play out between your ex or your exes. You didn't allow him to be who he needed to be. But at the same time, males need to understand that we live in a different world now, where the women have more of this power to speak their truth. So this is where the conversation starts to get a little bit, blurred, because we don't know how to balance those two energies. And this is what the planets are trying to make us do. They're trying to make us figure out what is the right balance, what's right, what's wrong. It's like following your own intuition and being like, okay, well, this didn't work out for me. In the next relationship, what will work out? What should I take with me from that past relationship? What should I keep doing? Because sometimes we self-sabotage too. We behave in ways that are not allowing the partnership to stay strong. So this is coming in hot, guys. Chiron in Aries is definitely trying to teach us how we got hurt in the past and what lessons need to be learned with Saturn. karma. It's all about karma, meaning you came down here to learn these really difficult, hard lessons so that you can evolve into the next phase in your life. And maybe it took you 10 years, maybe it took you 20, you know, time is an illusion, eh? Everybody's different. Let me see what you guys are saying here. All the feminine, yeah, it's feminine, feminism, a lot of feminist power, all the Me Too revolution. So it's difficult now for men to be who they are, I guess, right? I think that's what essentially is the issue here, is they don't know how to be. You know, they can't say this, they can't say that, they can't do this, they can't do that. So what do we do? But I think the most important thing here is communication. And if you are not there in your journey where you are mature enough to have an open communication about where you stand and what you accept and what you don't accept, then the lines will always be blurry. Rising Sun, I agree, my ex cheated. Right, I agree with my ex cheated on liking thirst traps. And okay, were you guys together for a long time? Men can't be men anymore. Yeah, they're not encouraged to. And there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear, and a lot of men, instead of going down the path of trying to understand this new reality, they start self-sabotaging. They start like what she just said. They think that by being liked and by being loved is by being a fuckboy, is by getting the most attention possible. Okay, and this is another thing that was channeled to me, and I wrote it down. The males, maybe not all males, but a lot of them who are still self-sabotaging, need to step out of their ego. Okay, because they're confused about how to love, how to show love. So at this point, we have access to so many people through social media, through dating apps. If we're feeling not so great about ourselves, well, we can just go online and be like, well, let's see if she swipes right on me tonight, so I can get that ego boost. And this is not the right path. It's not. You're not going to attract the right energy with that type of behavior. If your intention is to boost your ego, guess what? You're meeting someone who's at that same vibrational frequency, who also needs an ego boost. So don't be disappointed if that girl just wants to sleep with you. That's the thing. You know, like attracts like. What are you saying? 4 years. Okay. Well, he needed to be validated by other people, Asha. That's what it sounds like. And I can relate. I think my ex too was narcissistic and couldn't understand the opposite sex and was very frustrated. And it also has a lot to do with how they view women. How their experience was growing up with women, with the women in their life. So how was their experience growing up with their mom, with their aunts, with their cousins, with their sisters, with their grandparents? So all the women in their life, how did they treat them? Men also like women showing they are independent though. Yeah, it's this is true. Can some men validate this? Like, so you want a woman. So what do you want? That's a good thing that you brought up, Lisette. This is what I needed to ask males. So what exactly do you want in a partnership or in a woman? Okay. What is it that you need? What is it that you want? Do you need her to be independent and be able to like support herself? Or what do you need? What do you want? You know, for the majority of you, what are you looking for exactly? So that we can get a little bit of an idea. I'm a little bit old school about that, Lisette. I think that the man should pay on the first date, but that's just me. I know a lot of women, they want to stand up for themselves and they want to show that they're independent, but at the same time, we gotta let the man be the man. We gotta find those windows of opportunity for them to be a man. And by shutting him down like that first date, I personally don't think that's a good idea. But that's just me. I don't know what y'all think about that. Okay, rising sun, you're a male too. Yes. So you're giving your intel as a male. What do the other males think about that situation, or what is it that you guys are looking for in a partner? The ones that are single as a Pringle, need a girl who's never going to play me, independent and can support herself and the relationship at the same time. Okay. So Orlando, when you say a girl that hasn't played me, that means that you've been played. In what sense have you been played? Like cheating wise? Okay, being faithful. So you need someone who can commit to you, basically. So Orlando, tell me, because we're talking about communication here, was there ever a conversation where you both sat down and let each other know what you needed? So you needed commitment, you needed faithfulness. What was her response to that? So there was no communication. I mean, first date, if you're dating a man and it's been a while, eventually, do you think the woman should pay sometimes? I think so. Yeah, well, I would anyway. Especially if you move in together and you have a lot of expenses. And I think taking turns when you're in a long-term relationship over time can be fair. I know that I offered to pay on the second date with my ex, and he allowed me to pay. So I think it's fair. Like he paid on the first date, which was a nice dinner with wines, and then the second date, well, I paid. We went out for coffee. So I think for me, equal give and take in that sense is important. And I'm already aware of the lack of communication, and now I'm realizing, yeah, if I simply told her what I wanted. Yeah, totally. And it's all about communicating our needs and our wants. And when we're young, well, I'm not going to say young, but I'm like immature and we're not experienced in relationships, maybe it takes us so many breakups and shakeups to realize that there was that specific key thing that was missing. And communication for me is really important. But then when you meet someone who does know how to communicate, you have to be careful if they use their words to manipulate you, because this is what I went through. So it's like it can be different for everybody. It's crazy. So you have to be careful. Yeah, people who communicate well can be a good partner, but at the same time, they can also use their words to manipulate you and twist arguments and somehow twist it and then blame you. They're very good at that. I don't know. Some people really got that down. I don't know about y'all if that's something that you've also experienced, but it's definitely like you really gotta be super aware of what people are saying, how they're saying it, and how you feel when they're saying it. This is what I've learned. This is a free lesson from my experiences. When they come at you with an argument and it doesn't feel right, listen to that. And I think this is something that I probably ignored for a little bit. Mind you, I was very detached from emotions. Yeah, and that also can be an issue. That's another key component is emotional intelligence. How to understand each other's emotions. But the thing is, if you don't understand your own emotions, how could you understand another person's emotions? That's the problem. Yes, so true. Loads of twisted peeps out there. Trust me, hasn't happened so many times. Yeah, has happened so many times. Yeah, I can just imagine. Yes, pay attention to detail and trends to know how and what type of person you're dealing with. The patterns. Yeah. Definitely patterns can tell you how they interact. And also look at how they interact with others too. What kind of mentality they're driven by when they're talking. That's something to pay attention to as well. Because at the end of the day, guys, I mean, if we're gonna have this relationship and we're going to build something, we got to make sure this person is well up here, right? We got to make sure that they're able to communicate in a way that honors my feelings. Okay, this is what I didn't get in my previous relationship, is not honoring my feelings. You're completely dismissing them because you're not able to look into your own emotional world to see how you're feeling about what's going on. So by suppressing your emotions, what do? You blame. Yeah, but you're like this. Yeah, but you are like that. But you said this, you said that. You know, we shouldn't be using you. That's, you know, we're pointing. We have to go within and say, you know, it made me feel. I feel this when this happened. So it takes a high level of emotional intelligence to do this, and not a lot of people have this because they're not tapping into their own emotional world. They're numbing themselves, you know, whether that's through drugs or, you know, video games. For me, it was that. Like, he was completely escaping in this world so that he wouldn't feel his wounds. You know, what we feel is based on our past wounds, but if we don't deal with them, we don't heal them, then unconsciously we bring those into our next relationship. So we got to be careful and see how people deal with their own emotions. Facts. I'm an empath. When I've communicated in the past, I felt deception and ignored so many times. Yeah, same here, girl. If you're a good soul, you fall for it, and at time you don't have your guard up. Yeah. Yeah, it's really difficult to be in that feeling body where you're picking up on emotions, you're picking up on something, but at the same time, you want to allow this person to show you that they can change, show you that they can make, you know, moves. And this takes time, unfortunately. And then that's why at the end of the day, we're like, my God, we wasted so much time. But it took that period of time to understand, for things to get to unfold. So I completely get you. Yep, that was the father. My kids twisted everything around and blamed me. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've been there, honey. Sometimes you open up, the other will twist, and exactly. That's exactly what was going on, Rising Sun. You hit it on the head. Yeah. So like my feelings were like twisted and used against me constantly. And as soon as someone does that, that's big time red flags, people. Big time. Huge. Huge. They shouldn't be saying, well, you're feeling like this because you should have because you're kind of broken. You know, that's what my ex would say. I think you're broken. Oh, and you're not. So we're gonna tell you that you're broken, but at the end of the day, you're not looking into yourself to figure out why you're broken. Like, we're all broken. Let's be honest, people. We're not all the only time we were perfect is when we were born, and at that point things changed. So, you know, we're all broken. We're just trying to find a way out of this mess. So by saying that is completely, you know, destructive and toxic. So she changed for the better, but now she's second guessing bringing us back together for the wasted time that took place. Yes, don't forget to thumbs up. Thank you, CC. Aries Queen, I'm an empath too. People are taken aback when I ask them what is wrong because I can feel that they are in negative mind. I have learned to just let them tell me when they're ready. I can definitely resonate with that, Aries Queen. I'm actually dealing with that now with family and friends and people. What I've learned is that, and this is one of my meditation teacher, Sabrina, has taught me. She says, Emily, everyone has a process of dealing with what they're going through. And you see things from a higher perspective. So sometimes I expect others to be like, okay, but wake up. Don't you see it that way? Like, why are you still in that? So it becomes frustrating sometimes in the moment for us to disconnect and be like, okay, I'm gonna let you make your mistakes because you're clearly making a lot of mistakes right now. You're not on the right path. There are so many signs, but you see, we see it. We see those signs. It's crazy. I see so many signs for other people. They're telling me stories, and I'm like, okay, but have you done this? Have you done that? Like, don't you see that this person is not right? Don't you see that this person is not giving you what you want? And it's like, no, they don't want to hear it. Because at the end of the day, what is going on with society is that, again, they want to fit in a box. Okay? A lot of people, maybe not us, if you're watching me, you're definitely not wanting to fit in a box. But a lot of people around me, and I'm going to always speak from experience to help you guys. I live in a place I grew up in an Italian community where people did things a certain way. And back in the day when my parents, I guess, got together, it worked. Okay, because back in the day, everybody was just willing to get together with someone and form a family and have kids, because that's all they knew really back then, right? That's all they knew existed. And nobody really questioned, well, how, does this person fulfill you? Does this person, help you fulfill your purpose? Like, no one talked about that shit. So it was easier for them in a sense because everybody had the same goal. I have to be a provider as the male, and as the female, I need to find a husband. And then I have to have kids, and I have to raise my kids. And that's all. That's all they did. And now the new generation coming in, that are in their 20s and 30s, from what I see, are kind of on that track where they're not contemplating, marriage. Like, from all your experiences, guys, a lot of you were married. Is a lot of work. It's a life of sacrifices. And from what I see, the generation of today, the 20-year-olds, because I have a lot of students that are in their 20s and teens, I don't think they're prepared for that type of life, people. Like, you need to be prepared to continuously be in someone else's energy and cater to your children, cater to your husband, cater to your wife, and to their in-laws. And people don't understand the repercussions that marriage has nowadays. And I feel like people just jump into it because, well, everyone's doing it, right? My friend's getting married, my friend's married, they're having a family, then I guess that's what I have to do. And a lot of males in my community, I feel it. I don't say it, but I feel like they're kind of being forced into getting married because that's all they know of what they have to do. And they're not really reflecting on what they actually want and what makes them feel whole. So then when they get into this marriage, a lot of people don't survive. I've heard of a lot of stories where people get divorced after a year, 2 years, and these are young people in their 20s. So we have to be careful, we can't fit in. And this is what the energies are doing, especially on the lunar eclipse. Saturn wants us to fit into this structure. And we've been trying to create a structure, right, in our life in the last 9 years. They're saying in the last 9 years, if you've been through chaos, it's because the box that you've created for yourself was not the right one. But people are trying to fit themselves in this box, in this traditional way of thinking, like following these unwritten rules about things and ways of being that don't work for our generation, for the way we want to be. So I don't know how you guys are in your areas, in your communities. Here it's kind of a mess, I think, but that's just my opinion. And I hope the people that come from here are not, offended by what I'm saying. But all I'm saying is that you have to take the time to realize what you want makes you feel whole, what makes you feel complete. And not just automatically assume, well, if I get married, I'll be happy. When I get married, I will be happy. No, you need to be happy right now. You need to find what fills you up right now, not depending on if it works out with your future wife, with your future husband. So what's going on here? Reached out during retrograde. Should I just move on? Oh, you reached out like recently? But then if I mention anything about me, bam, they have to go, or I'm going to sleep. I'm so sick of it. You know, Rudy, same here. So I disconnect from and keep to myself. It's funny, same here. Everybody wants to talk to me and vent about their issues. And I feel like I don't get that back in a lot of my interactions with people, especially with friends in the last few years. It's like I can be there for you and I can follow you, but when it's time to, you know, be a shoulder to cry on for me, then it's way too much. I'm asking for way too much here. And so, yes, exactly. That's how you find who your real friends are, your real buddies are. For me, this has been a theme, a running theme, is cutting out people that are not reciprocating what I need. You know, in a relationship, just like in a friendship, we need reciprocity, people. You know, if someone's just calling you because they're calling you to go out for a drink, but then when you actually have real issues that you want to, you know, vent about, and they're not there because it's too difficult, then that really shows us who they are as a person. And this is why people are suffering, because they're like, well, they're my friend, and I've known her or I've known him for the last 10 years, or we went to school together, and we were neighbors, so I have to be her friend, or I have to be his friend. No, you don't. But that's the lesson. Those are the lessons that a lot of people are going to have to face, because people that are not on your path, are not on your vibration, they got to go. These are what the energies are telling us to do. You got to go. You got to eliminate this shit. Focus on the relationship you have with yourself. Work on loving yourself. Yes, first be patient. The right person will come for you at the right time. It may not last, but that's okay. That's it. I mean, the people we meet come in for a reason, come in for a season. And it's difficult for people to grasp, because they're like, but no, I'm getting married, so that's forever. No, it's not forever, right? And for the people that have been divorced, you know all about this. It's not forever just because you're signing your name on the dotted line. Oh, hey, Fe Machina. I couldn't put you in the moderator, but I will, okay? I wasn't sure. How you doing? So, I agree, Aries Queen. I feel a lot of people are scared. Yes, people are confused. People don't know what they want. So this is why I'm saying to my subscribers, don't get into relationships right now. It's not a good time, because everything is in retrograde at this point. So they might come at you with the intention of wanting something, but then things are going to change in the next month, 2 months from now. So we're best to get aligned with what we need, what we want right now within ourselves, before embarking on a different path with someone else, because people are not in their right mind, because they're confused. You know, just like the way you're kind of lost and confused, and I am too at some point. We all feel that way with these energies. It's not a good time. Maybe it's a good time to set your intentions with the person, or communicate. I'm not sure. I forgot what Orlando was saying. So Orlando, let's get back to what you were saying. You communicated with your ex, and how did that go? What was your intention behind communicating? You see, this is what I'm interested, because a lot of exes will be returning. I haven't gone through that yet, but like, what would be a person's intention by communicating with their ex? Is it because you miss them? Is it because you want closure? What is the point behind that? I just want to know. Let's get the air cleared out here. Hey, Debbie. Faye Machina, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We had such a nice conversation this morning. Well, it was morning for me anyway. Hey, Debbie. So males out there, can you respond to my question? If you're going back with an, or you're communicating with an ex that you haven't seen or spoken to in the last, I don't know, 6 months, let's say 6 months to a year. Okay, so you felt like you had unfinished business. That's fair. Like we never even got to have true love. Yeah, okay. So a part of you feels like you need to repair, but at the same time, I think it's not repairable. Was it you that was having car problems, Orlando, or was it someone else? No, I think it was someone else. So when you did communicate with her, Orlando, what was her response? What was her reaction? Try to communicate this after with my twin. He just was slow opening up. It was like he was hiding something. Yeah. Probably. Okay, Femakina, so that was good. A sincere apology. And like, was there another intention behind that? I think it's good if they come back and they apologize, but with no intention of like trying to get back together. Like, I don't think it's a good idea to get back together with your ex right now. Okay, Mercury's in retrograde, people. We're trying to go back and we're trying to revisit the past, but trying to see what didn't work, what should we, keep, what should we leave. Yeah, no. If they come back all wishy-washy, then that's not a good sign. I think we should ignore them. I was forced into marriage against my will. I was murdered by scared and jealous individuals. Okay, David Huffman, that's heavy. You were forced into marriage because when you say I was murdered, what does that mean? I was murdered by scared and jealous individuals during your marriage? People were attacking you? She said that she wasn't ready for that and she's focusing on herself and becoming more grounded, but she apologized for breaking my heart. Okay. And how do you feel now, Orlando? Do you think that that's going to be enough for you to close this chapter? Debbie, your ex just had a heart attack? Holy shit. And how did you find out? Going to be alone to work on himself as his other woman had left him in the dust. Okay. Yeah, I can understand. Hey Mimi, how you doing? So Fe Machina, he broke up with you to go with someone else? Is that what the issue was? But he apologized? And I mean, that's karma right there. If he left you for someone else, and maybe he realized that he fucked up, so maybe that apology was necessary to close the cycle. But both individuals have to come from a sincere place. My ex and I did not break up on bad terms. We are both trying to figure it out. What it's like to be single. Yeah, I reach out because I miss my best friend, but he's a sage and logical. And so when you reach out to him, Aries Queen, how does he respond? Your ex is into black magic? Okay, wow. That's not good. You gotta shield yourself, Rising Sun. Do you know how to shield yourself? Protect yourself from that dark energy, that lower energy? Okay. So he passed away. Your son called me. Your son called you. Okay. That's heavy. That just happened now? Whew. Talk about major endings. He had broken up with me to be with her. He had broken up with her to be with me, then changed his mind. This was years ago, but at the time it destroyed me. I know. So basically, he had broken up with her to be with you, but then he changed his mind in the middle and says, no, I gotta go back to her. So what we can learn from that experience is maybe we need to, I guess, ask more questions. And by getting those questions, seeing with your intuition if that person is ready to commit to this new cycle, because clearly he didn't wrap up that old cycle with his other partner. And so maybe he was trying to find some type of validation that he wasn't getting with her, and then he was trying with you. Oh, he was a Libra too. Wonderful. Libras, man, they have been stirring up shit. Who's a Libra up in here? Libras are, I mean, I'm a magnet for Libras. I just attract them wherever I go. Friends, boyfriends, family, everyone's a Libra. Let me tell y'all something with men. We always conform to looking at the world through a lens of finances. Yeah. Yes, David, I was talking about that at the beginning. You guys want to be the provider, right? You want to be the protector. You're the one who wants to lay that solid foundation for your woman, for your family. We usually hang out and talk for hours, and then I won't hear from him again for a while. So I don't know how you feel about that, Aries Queen, but your Sagittarius doesn't sound very reliable. Now it depends on what you want and where are you at in your journey. Are you looking to clear out people that don't bring you to your highest? Or are you still kind of it feels like you're still a little bit more, you're still attached because you feel like he was your best friend. And I can understand that. One of my exes that I was with for 5 years, he was a Leo. We went through so much together. We grew up together in our 20s. You know, for me, your 20s are like your learning years. So that's why when people are getting married in their early 20s, I'm like, no, like, what are you doing? When I was in my 20s, I was with someone for 5 years. We lived together, and yeah, he became, even when we broke up, it was on good terms. He wasn't happy about it when I decided to start dating again. And he realized what he had lost, that he should have stepped up in a different way throughout those 5 years. But again, we were young, we were in our 20s, and you know, men take more time to mature than us women. So we were the same age, and I feel like, yeah, I built such a strong friendship with him, and I trust him so much more than my last ex, because he didn't manipulate me. He was just, you know, in that relationship, it was just about like laziness. Really, he wasn't understanding that I needed some fire in the relationship. I needed someone who was a go-getter and who was willing to make moves financially with jobs, and he realizes that now. But yeah, he needed to be the provider, but it took him time, this ex of mine. But you know, if he was willing to stay friends with me until today, I would still be friends with him. So I get that friendship connection. But on his end, he said no. That's where he drew the line. And that's great. If someone says to you, listen, I can't be friends with you, I still have feelings for you, and it pains me when I see you. This is someone who's opening their heart. And this is exactly what my Leo ex did. He opened his heart and said, we tried to be friends, but the connection is still there for me. The feelings are still there. And it's unfair to me to see you and not be with you. This is someone who has self-love, people. Someone who says, I can't do this anymore. It's paining me. I can't be your friend anymore. This is someone who is respecting their emotional boundaries. So it takes a lot of courage to be that way. But I get the friendship. I mean, I would have loved to still have a friendship with him, because at one point you get to know someone so well, and they get you, that it's so hard to find that with other people. But you do. Like, you found this group, girl, so I think you're on the right path. I'm so sorry about your loss, Debbie. What you're going through is crazy. Shoot. So Orlando, what are you saying? It just sucks because I feel like we deserve something true. You do deserve something true, but it's maybe not with that person. I think this is what you're longing for. You're yearning for something true. but this person is not willing to open up her heart. You know, you got to respect yourself as well. So maybe for you, Orlando, this is a major lesson of self-love. You need to learn how to love yourself first. And if you love yourself, then you're not going to entertain someone who is not willing to give you that back. My goodness. Rising Sun, I'm so sorry to hear that too. That's you guys have intense stories. God bless you. Oof. No, she has tried. Okay. So you have heart problems? You have currently a lot of heart problems, Rising Sun? This shit filled with emotion. Yes, we are opening up our heart, David, here. We are all in our feels. It's all about the divine feminine right here. And I think that's part of it too, is that a lot of males need to access that part in order to build that connection. Because without your emotions, I don't know if you're willing to understand my emotions. So I know it's heavy, but listen, we're in Cancer still. The sun is in Cancer, the North Node is in Cancer, and that's where they're leading us to. They're leading us to Cancer. The North Node meaning like the North Star. The purpose right now is finding people, places, and things that are aligned with our heart. Unfortunately, this is where we're at. I wrote it somewhere. Someone, a situation, people, things that provide comfort. Cancer is all about comfort. Someone that makes us feel at home. But if we don't feel at home with ourselves, first and foremost, then we can't attract someone that is best for us. Most men and women will not be able to afford the lifestyle in order to create a foundation for a family. I'm sorry, I didn't read your other message. We have to be the provider. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I was married 20 years. When we started, he completely checked out from all things selling house. No, it's only because I couldn't check out. Okay, so you were married for 20 years. Hi, Jennifer, welcome. Sorry, I didn't see you come in, dear. So you were married for 20 years. When we separated, he completely checked out from all things selling your house. I guess that was your house. So when you say check out, what do you mean? Just want to clarify. Your moon is in Sag, Debbie? Fire. So Sagittarius is ruled by the ninth house. It's all about higher learning and adventure and looking at things from a higher perspective. My Mars is in the ninth. I also had an Aries lead me on. You got to start. Yeah, you're going to be tested with your intuition, Faye Makina. I think that was your lesson, is trusting your gut. I mean, we've all been there. My spirit guides guided me. My spirit guides me. I'm glad to hear that, Rising Sun. I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better physically and mentally. I'm sure it took a toll on your body with everything that you just described. Wow. You're 26, Asha, and I'm learning that right now is not the best time for that. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta focus on you. 26 is young. Well, nowadays I feel it's very young. I know my mother, I don't know if your mother's got married super young, like at 19, 20, but no. Maybe it worked out back then, but not now. Okay, so David is doing the math for us. I love it. If a man works for $20 an hour for 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, no breaks, then you'll be making around, yeah, that means it will take 20 years to be a millionaire. Yes, it's a long time. Hi, Neon from Australia. You're an Aries. Welcome. Most men, women will not be able to afford that lifestyle in order to create foundation. No, obviously not. No. No. So this is why we have to make do with what we have. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to be a millionaire to have a good foundation. I mean, you don't need to have an extravagant lifestyle, but I know a lot of people are striving for that. Yeah, well, you need income. That's for sure. And this is what I've been tested with. You need incomes on both levels, on both sides. Unless one partner is extremely successful and has an amazing business and is able to provide for both. But I really do think that both people should be working because it gives us this sense of who we are, a purpose. We shouldn't be relying on someone solely. We should both participate and bring in equally what we need to build a solid foundation. I'm hopeful about our future, but I don't want to leave because there's probably someone out there for sure. Absolutely. Aries queen. Yeah, the eclipses and retrogrades are forcing us to look at ourselves, what we need more deeply. You're right, Faye Makina. On loving our darkness as well as our light. Yeah, totally. And I'm thankful I'm not the one. Very true. I'm getting in tune with my emotions. Never knew what they. Yeah, me too, Orlando. Listen, I mean, as an Aries, I don't like to really sit with my emotions. Even like when people used to come at me crying, I never knew exactly how to deal with it. For me, when somebody would come to me crying with their issues, as an Aries, like the divine masculine comes right through. Okay, what can we do to solve this? What can we do to fix this? Instead, we can't come at the this emotional side of situations with that type of energy. We have to feel it. We have to allow others to go through that process of feeling their emotions, because by suppressing our emotions, it just brings out shit. It brings out resentment, it brings out anger, and over time that creates disease based on what I've seen around me. But people don't get that. People don't want to understand and go within because it's too hard, and it's scary. It's scary to go through your shadows and be like, oh my God, that's not a good sign. That's not a good thing that I've been doing. And me sharing my experiences, those are shadows, man. Those are dark. Those were dark times in my life where I was faced with so many lessons, and it made me stronger, that's for sure. But I'm still dealing with how to process emotions, how to process your emotional world, because you don't want to sit with that forever. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the best thing to do, what you're saying, you're not an emotional person. I believe emotions can be monetized. Well, yeah, they can be monetized, but if that's what our purpose is, if that's what we feel guided to do, but at the end of the day, we're here to try to express who we are and speak our truth and be vulnerable so we can encourage you guys to do the same thing. And this is what I've been guided to do. I mean, I'm not making money doing this right now, but this is something that I am guided to do right now because as a collective, we need it. We need people to shed light on the shadows of what's going on in the world. Yeah, your Aries wanted to provide. Aries zodiac, ascendant Sag moon. Okay, Orlando, you're full of fire. You definitely need someone that can keep up with you, that keep up with your fire. And maybe that's why right now you need to learn how to tap into your emotions so that you're able to express your emotions in your next relationship. Because Aries, man, we love novelty, as Aries. If you have Aries in your chart, anything that's new and interesting. Like we just jump in. I'm like, I was totally into jumping into something new that looked intriguing. But we need to go into our feeling body before to see if that situation, you know, is going to work out. More money, more problems. Asha, I did not see your comment. Yeah, so Aries, your emotions are running even deeper now because, again, Chiron is in Aries, going retrograde. So looking at our wounds is not pretty. Not pretty. Libra, your moon is in Libra, Aries Queen. Wow. Ascendant Gemini, Aquarius, so many sides. Yeah, you have a lot of air. Aries. Yeah, you have a lot of air. Definitely a lot of air. And then with that sun in Aries, just like, yeah, interesting. Interesting. So I want to hear from other men here that are going through some situations or who have gone through some situations about crazy ex-girlfriends. What was your experience like, guys? I want to know. I wanted to show you the next card here. So the next card for our males, for our divine masculines, was the Grizzly Bear Power. So you see how the keyword here, oh, thank you, Neon. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. So super chats for donations, guys. If you want to leave a donation, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Very, very nice of you. So you see we have protection with the turtle and we have power. So this is y'all, Grizzly Bear Power. I am indestructible. I honor my intuition and I go where it leads. Love and gentleness are my real strength. I never give up. I will succeed. So this is your vibe, men, okay? So I tapped into your vibe and I picked out these two animal totems. So you're all about that. You're all about protection and power, but your power also lies within your intuition and your emotional being, your emotional world with that grizzly bear. So this is beautiful. Wow, I'm loving this. Perseverance, indestructible. But you see, love and gentleness, that's the divine feminine. Love and gentleness are my real strength. So I think this is what they're trying to tell you guys. Tap into your love and gentleness with this type of energy that's coming through for us. Any other males in the house? She was addicted to sex? Oh boy. Okay, so she didn't want a committed relationship, Orlando. Yes, shout out to the men for hanging out today. Thank you so much. Yeah. As we were talking about your physical attraction situation there, Orlando, the Knight of Wands came through. So I'm asking Spirit, what is going on with the males right now? And I think this is the problem. We have to be careful with the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is very passionate, takes action, is quick, you know, very sexual energy coming in here. So I think this is what they are telling you to maybe put aside for a little while. My ex would never communicate about any issue. She would pack up and leave for a weekend and come back. Just one example. Till I said I'm done. Good for you, Rudy. And this could be the feminines too, right? That you're dealing with. I mean, a lot of girls, a lot of women are still not able to understand what they want. So they think that by having sex with you is the only way to feel emotionally connected to you. But these are women that are not as experienced, I think, in relationships. I think they've been shown this maybe from the media, maybe their friends, their family. I mean, there's some type of conditioning that comes with that type of behavior where they must have maybe had a hard childhood where they didn't have a good role model as a male, and the males in their life probably were abusive. Oh yeah, temperance. Temperance is telling us that we need to balance the balancing the feminine and masculine energies, and this can also be alchemy. So turning our shitty situations into something great. And it's with this type of perspective, with this type of energy, that we're going to be able to walk into this new world in the next 6 months and in 2020. So finding a way to balance and create from situations that were not so great, but creating a beautiful life with what was not so nice. This is alchemy. Yeah, we got the bottom of the deck here with the Fool. So focusing on new beginnings, guys. But then I just saw the Three of Swords. We're still healing. The men are still healing on their end. Tell me more about the male's energy. Yeah. Healing, resting, retreating, surrendering. Yeah, totally. So as a younger woman, I equated sexual attention with love. I'm not sure I'm the only one. Yeah. Somebody, if you guys can relate to that. 3rd of July. Last time I had it was the 3rd of July. Haha. Okay, well, that's a year ago. Faye, trust me, when you're young, the both are very confusing. When you're young, the both are very confusing. Yeah. Because you don't know how to... I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I went out downtown just for like a coffee and a walk. Like I like to just stroll, take a stroll with my brother, who I don't see very often, and I'm very observant, right? Being very intuitive. And so we had crossed the street, and the street, you know, yesterday was Friday, so it was party. Like here downtown in Montreal, clubs close at 3 o'clock in the morning, and on this specific street, there's a lot of clubs. And we weren't going to any club. We were just, you know, passing by and whatever, just, you know, taking some air. But there were these 2 or 3 young girls. I would say, oh, they looked young. Like, I hope they were at least 18. They looked super young. 18, 19. I'm hoping they were old enough to drink, because they looked very young. They were super, super teeny tiny. Not that I'm dissing what they were wearing. I mean, girls can wear whatever they want these days, but honey, you got to be careful what you're showing, and especially when you're walking on those streets, like, ooh, downtown Montreal, like, you got to be careful. Like, because the men around there are very thirsty. Oh, yes. So these 3 girls are just walking with their short, the shortest dress I've ever seen, with big heels, high heels, and you know, they wanted attention, obviously. I think they wanted probably to get in a club. It felt like they were their mission. They were on a mission, the way they were walking, you know, like, we're on a mission. We're going to get, you know, we're not going to get carded tonight. And so this gentleman, this male, which I don't think is a gentleman, I'll retract that. I think he was like a club promoter. So he stopped them right in their tracks because, you know, they looked hot, and he wanted them to go into his club because he's promoting on the street. And he's like, ladies, you know, you want to come to my club and this and that and all the bullshit that they give you. And they just looked at him and they just, you know, okay, I don't know. They went their way. And he was like really weird. He turned to this random guy on the street. I don't know if he knew him. And he was like so proud. He's like, oh, you know, I could have gotten those girls. It would have been so easy. And I was like, dude, what? Like, it's just that type of energy that we gotta be careful with, ladies. You know, when they're all high and mighty, that's a man that's completely in his ego, and that thinks that he can sleep with anybody on the street, basically. You know, I was like really grossed out. So I think this is a problem with a lot of men. I'm not saying all men, but men who are not vibing so high, ooh. So the young ones need to be careful. You need to be careful what you're putting out there. So listen, you guys, most of you are like this, or this is your advice saying, you know, like surrender at this point when it comes to making any moves. I set up to express yourself should always be a duty. Yeah, totally, Jennifer. Totally. Thank you, Jennifer, for coming through. I didn't even see you coming through. But if you can't communicate your feelings and what's going on with yourself, then we're going to have a hard time being mute in the relationship. Yeah. I don't know, Femakina. It was quite interesting. I think it's an ego thing. It's to show others, or even himself, really. He's trying to prove to himself that he can, you know, attract anybody, really. But that's coming from a place of low confidence, right? Of a lack of self-confidence. So you got to be careful with those energies, people. You can't fall into that trap. And some girls, I don't know if they use men to get attention because they themselves have no self-esteem. But I feel like on both ends, in this scenario, male and females were like thirsty for attention. Very thirsty for attention. Yeah, okay, so the males, you gotta take back your power here with the Emperor. It's time to get back into this status. So maybe you've given your power away to someone, to situations. It's time to take your power back. And here we got the Page of Swords. So it's the famous stalker. So on both ends, there's a lot of stalker behavior going on, guys. A lot of stalker behavior. What other messages do you have for our males today, please? What should they know? What do they need to know? It's funny, that song came back and played in my head. If I can turn back time, and regret, right? We're regretting our missed opportunities. We're in a place where, you know, we don't feel satisfied. We're dissatisfied due to previous disappointments. But maybe some of you males are not seeing the opportunities that are in front of you with that Four of Cups. Boy, what y'all know about omelets? Which sign is this for? It's not a sign, it's just a general energy reading for you males on what the universe, the spirit guides want you to know. So there were some missed opportunities, a lot of dissatisfaction with what's going on. They're telling you that you need to rest, you need to take a break in order to get your power back. Okay, they're telling you to be the Emperor. The Emperor is the most, you know, has the most power in the deck. Oh, look, we got a counterpart. So they're kind of confirming here that you need to look for an Empress. You need to focus on this. Ooh, and that came out. Five of Wands wanted to show itself. A lot of conflict, struggle, inner struggles for a lot of you men here. A lot of struggles, inner struggles, but I feel like this is what they're telling you. Take back your power so you attract your Empress, because we got a union here. We got the counterparts, which is beautiful. I've never gotten the counterparts before the last few readings I've been doing. Definite regrets, but moving forward. I see everybody as an opportunity. Yes, regrets. Yeah, the messages may not resonate with everybody, but again, they're general. It's general messages about what is going on in my soul tribe. If you're part of my soul tribe and you appreciate my energy and the other people's energy in this soul tribe, then I'm tapping into your energy basically on what the universe is showing here. They're showing you that you've been through some disappointments. You're a bit dissatisfied. You're a bit regretful. You know, the first thing that came out was this. So maybe your behavior was physical attraction. You're more towards the sexuality when it comes to relationships. And now you're having to find balance because going at it like this, you know, is not helping you guys. Why does every video of tarot I watch resonate? Because you're connected. You're open. You're open to connecting. Because that's your higher self telling you that you need to reach out and you need to listen and you need to receive. So I think this is fabulous, Orlando. I really think that you're opening up your divine feminine in the sense that you're willing to understand and be receptive to these types of messages. Okay, so this is awesome. Yeah, I just saw the Five of Pentacles, which, no, I lost. Five of Pentacles being rejected. A lot of you were rejected, and I think that's what's getting you stuck. What other messages? Oh, but look at that. The sun's coming out. So, guys, we got to stay positive. A lot of you need to focus on, you know, building yourselves back up. And the more you focus on, you know, the new opportunities that are about to unfold for you, the better it will be for you. Because the sun is the happiest card in the deck. Yeah, maybe focusing on your finances as well with that Queen of Pentacles. Focusing on your home. Focusing on, I heard things that make you feel at home. People, situations, relationships that make you feel at home. Oh, a male or female always has two energies, okay? We're born with our masculine and feminine energy. Now, some of us tend to tap into more of that one-sided energy. So for me, in the last few years, I've been tapping into more of the masculine, where I want always control, where I wanted to make moves constantly. And so I was shutting down my feminine energy, my divine feminine, which is the part of all of us that needs to be receptive, that needs to listen, that needs to be gentle, not only with others, but with ourselves, that needs to feel our feelings and not suppress them. So this is the divine feminine, and everyone is born with a divine feminine and masculine. And it doesn't mean that we're more feminine or that we're more masculine. You know, I'm predominantly, you know, feminine, you know, but my energy when I was born, I feel like was more masculine because I'm an Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is a masculine planet. So I tend to rely on that as coping mechanism. But now we're being taught with the North nodes in Cancer and the sun being in Cancer and Venus, the planet, Venus is a feminine planet, being in Cancer, we are all being challenged to connect with our divine feminine, whether we are male or female. So be easy on yourself. This is what your divine feminine is telling you. You got to be easy on yourself. You gotta, what this card was saying, they're telling me to look at this card, going with the flow, man, like feeling your feelings. This is what it is. You're a master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. Being in rhythm, that's amazing. I reread this. Being in rhythm, that's completely feminine. Because when you're in rhythm, you are allowing things to unfold. Whereas when we're in the masculine, we are controlling. We want to get things done. We want to make a move. It's our drive. But when you're in the flow and you're with the rhythm, that's pure feminine energy here. So interesting. Wow, mind blown here. Yeah, it's completely masculine for me. 95% of my life so far, my feminine side is kicking in, and Aries is so. It is uncomfortable. I mean, I'm a girl, and I'm feeling freaking uncomfortable, and it's hard. And everyone I talk to who's in the spiritual world, who's been helping me like uncover my energies and my blockages, all tell me, Emily, you're not tapping into your feminine energy or your divine feminine. Like she's there, but you're like you're avoiding her. You're letting your masculine control. So it's been a challenge because and doing this type of work is I don't have the choice to tap into my divine feminine. As much as it makes me a little bit uncomfortable, expressing myself at this point, expressing how I felt in my past relationships, how what I learned, this is me tapping into my divine feminine because it's opening up. It's being vulnerable with people. So this has been a challenge, and now I just mustered up the courage to do it. Learning more about yourself is uncomfortable because it changes your perception of what you thought you knew. Exactly, totally. But it's a good thing. It really does shake up your perceptions that were based on your past experiences, based on your conditioning as a child, based on your friendships. I'm always wondering if I should connect more with my air signs since everyone sees that side of me more. You know what, Aries Queen, Cups of Hope, do I do art? No, I'm actually a dancer. I love to dance, and this is something that I was told yesterday by one of my intuitive guides who helped me clear out so many blockages from my past life. She was amazing. She told me that I do need to tap into some type of artistic, creative ability. And she asked me, do you dance? Because you're very in tune with your body. And I said, yes. And she says, well, you got to do something with that. So yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing with that, but I'm definitely gonna look into that. But I need to express the way I express my emotions is through that, is through dancing, through music, and right now reading cards for you all. And you see, the thing is, I don't want to only read cards. I want to be able to have this open discussion with you because it's important for my life path as well, for my mission as well. Because if I were to just read your cards, I would go at it as that masculine energy again. And this is exactly what I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to tap into the feminine energy where I communicate and I'm receptive and I'm understanding and I'm open. So this is why I want to discuss and not just read cards for you all. Is for helping with the right. Yes, I heard that creativity helps with the exactly, and this is what my intuitive guide was telling me yesterday. Yes, Orlando, I always had males that was friends and couldn't find female friends. Yeah, you guys are right because I also, I don't know, I always maybe resonated with males more than females. Just because I guess some of my friends were not, they were not as quick as me, I find. I was just born into this being who was just quick. I just wanted things quick. I matured at a very young age based on my my family situation. I just felt like I needed to be mature at a very, very young age. So everyone around me felt like a baby to me. Felt like, okay, they weren't at my level of understanding. But that's, I don't know, that's me. I just was born that way. I literally make songs and able to access myself through them. Oh, that's excellent. And I love writing too. Writing comes so naturally to me, and that's something that I would be interesting. Writing songs, writing from feeling, writing from emotion, writing from your breakups, your heartache. I was bullied as a child by females, so I've always shied away from friendships with women. There you go. All of my friends are men, and they are all in their fields right now. Really? Oh my God. This is it. I mean, we're in the water here with the sea turtle. Yeah, writing is incredibly powerful. It is, Jennifer. Yeah, and I've just started, me doing this, posting things for me taps into that creative side. it allows me to understand what they want me to know, but at the same time I need to transmit it to you all, which is interesting. And I do that through my writing and through my YouTube videos. So self-expression can be something that maybe you're called to do, people, in this time. You guys, I got 2 other cards for the male. So justice here, karmic scales, things will be fair, finding a way to have those scales balanced. And this is what these are major arcana. So this is a phase in your life where you are balancing your scales of justice. Karma will be paid out to you. Why do I say that? Because look, Ace of Pentacles, opportunities. The universe is opening its hand to offer you something here based on these scales that need to be balanced. Oh, look, males, we got an Ace of Cups, an outpouring of love. I feel like this, oh, I was about to say self-love, but then I saw the 2 of Cups. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so you guys, if you are able to let go of this type of behavior where you lead through your sexual tendencies, you rebalance your cups here by turning your crappy situations from the past and making them a learning experience, by taking the time to heal and surrender, and to start looking at the opportunities that are being offered to you and not allowing yourself to sit in regret, because they're telling you you gotta stay focused on the positive that's coming through with this relationship, because we have counterparts here. You need to find a counterpart that's on the same level and that brings balance when an opportunity is knocking, because love, partnerships will come in through this vibration. Okay, guys, we're going to get one more and then we're going to wrap this up. I had such a good time with y'all. Hi, Stella. Oh my God. So nice to see you here. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. I love my community. Thank you for tuning in. You're awesome. Jennifer, you write letters to yourself? Wow, that's amazing. It takes so much introspection to write letters to yourself. Like, I just feel like if I were to do that, I'd be like crying the whole time. I don't know. I think I tried to do that once, and like, does that happen when you're writing a letter to yourself, or you're just writing your thoughts and like just tears start pouring down? When do I normally go live? I've been going live usually on Saturdays in the evenings. For now, and I always put out a post to ask you all if this is a good time, or what time is good for you all. Look, guys, we got the 10 of Pentacles. So possibilities of building foundations, abundance, commitments, family. Ooh, that is awesome. But they're telling me here that some of you need to still close a chapter, because like this, there's an ending, there's a closing, but reverse tells me that you're still holding on to things that need to be dead, that things that need to die. Okay, so we need to let that go. And a lot of introspection for you all too, men, males out there, a lot of introspection, self-reflection. So we're not making any moves, but things are in the works for us. And the Magician having the power to manifest with the grizzly bear there. You got power twice here. This was beautiful. Do you guys have any questions? Any concerns about what's coming up for you all before I sign out? I've been so serious. I think most of them have. Yeah, you know what? I went through that with a friend recently, or maybe like 2 months ago, and I had to cut her out of my life because she was not allowing me to be who I am. You know, she was all about the social aspect of the friendship, and I need someone who I can relate to. I can't just I can't just go out with you and have drinks with you. I need to have a deep conversation about what's going on. Bye, Aries Queen. You're awesome. So I understand you, Aries Queen. I think it's interesting what you say, because same thing for me, guys. I mean, we need to connect with like-minded people. This is what it is, and this is what this little soul tribe that I've created. People that are on the same wavelength. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. You guys are awesome, especially to the men out there who were open to receive messages. You are tapping into your divine feminine. Bravo. Trying to find a balance between the two is, I know, can be really difficult. I'm in that. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world. Love you all.